And see
And
whoops, I'm a little bit off, everybody. I'm gonna run the intro real quick. Hello, and welcome to Coffee with. Can you hear me, Mark? Still?
yes,
Okay.
loud and clear.
Um, Unfortunately, Drew's system had some technical difficulties, and he's going to be getting up early, so uh, he won't be with us tonight. And it looks like my links in our group are flagged as spam by Facebook because I
Lovely.
somebody got in and kind of spammed us yesterday, and I blocked it. And when I did, I guess it flagged the account to look for spam. So
Yep.
I've got to figure out how to fix that because before I could report that, hey, this is my account, this is my messenger, I'm sending a link to my Streamyard. And they approved it and brought us back without a problem. Um, so until I fix that, uh, if anybody wants to come on, send me a message and I can private message everybody. I just can't. Um,
Yeah.
I just can't send it to the group message for some unknown reason.
Well,
Uh, so we had a pretty successful uh, con with just a little bit of gloom. Um, it, if you went out to Sci-Fi Bartow and we missed you, let us know because there was a lot of people there, even though it was supposed to rain, what, almost 100% rain, but we got a little bit of sprinkles at the first place and found out that we left the canopy top in a different box than the bottom. So Mike stopped by and got that. So fortunately, we didn't have an issue with that. We met with a lot of different friends, you know, the 501st, the
right.
Daleks of Florida with Danny, Creative 4, Cosplay, Costumers, I think Costumers, I can never say that word, Costumers with a Cause. Uh, we got to talk with all of these people. We set up right beside um, Men in Black, and they were part of our group. Um, we had another Klingon group with us, which actually the main person from there is part of CAG. It was Friends of CAG or Friends of Klingons, I believe.
Yep.
Yeah. So all in all, I think our total group had about 40 something people coming and going throughout the day. I know that CAG had 12 from CAG. I think it was 12 or 13 from CAG.
Yeah,
And
Joshua.
yeah,
Captain
Joshua manned the Men in Black table. He manned the CAG table, and all over the place as well. I did an alternative to my Klingon. Let me pop into the thing because it will be harder to actually pop up. It will be harder to pop up my pictures, sending them than to just come in and use my phone to display them. So give me 1 second to set this up. Another thing that I am doing now is I'm starting to go live on TikTok every once in a while, doing a sci-fi chat, which the newest member of the broadcast group actually is. I met there, Moose. I did my first broadcast, and I basically just talked to the screen until he popped in and started talking to me. But okay, this is going to be harder than I thought. Never mind.
Okay. If it helps, a good friend who helped Sean coordinate at Bartow this year was my friend Kat, Catastrophe.
Yeah.
And fellow cosplayer, and she just posted a whole bunch of pictures on Facebook.
Right. I pulled those pictures onto my phone.
Yep, that's the one.
And yeah, Kat filled in for Leo because Leo has been sick.
Yeah, Leo was standing down. I don't know where he gets the energy.
Yeah, and
Amazing.
Basically, Leo is having some issues. So, Kat, who does like Mark said, works with um Sean and Lori actually stepped in and took all the pictures, and she just got it. It's been a busy couple weeks. Okay, I am going to have to send myself these. So, basically, Kat took the group pictures of us, which, yeah, we had quite a few. And I had friends that came and joined us. I had a friend from work actually come and join us and knew nothing about Syfy Bartow because, well, we really didn't. It's not one of those things that people go, "Hey, Bartow and Syfy." Nobody really thinks specifically Bartow would be your go-to sci-fi destination. But as we saw, Bartow actually had a lot going on, and I believe this is.
We got somebody popping in.
Oh, that's James. James, give me 1 second, and I'll send you a link. Because you can talk about Star Trek Marines a little bit. But the one thing that really this year was really nice was everybody helped out in a major way. We had people from all the clubs actually there from the beginning of the day to the end of the day. You know, they might not have been there at 7 o'clock, but they were there early enough that they actually helped us set up all the booths this year and take down. So, uh, as I said, to me, that was one of the biggest helps that could have happened because last year we started setting up at um 6:30 in the morning, and we didn't finish setting up till after the con was actually in full force. So yeah, I am so happy that so many people actually helped us out. I think the CAG booth got done by almost about 9 o'clock. We set up the bar by 9:30, and I was actually able to walk around and talk to the vendors and actually um, get to know a couple of the people. Where last year it was like, I don't think I have time. I think I didn't leave the booth until 12 something when we had to be on
Here we go.
on stage. And I didn't leave the stage till 1:30 when CAG was done, I think it was area. So I came back, changed real quick, and went right back. So uh, this is one of our members is Marty McFly in the middle from
Uh-huh.
Starfleet International. She's a member of Andromeda that was there.
Nice.
Lori is over the southern half of Florida for Starfleet International. Um, this is my friend from work that really he was so grateful that that I sought him out and let him know because I saw a couple of his TikToks and I was like, he would really enjoy this. And he said he had such a blast. Um, the Starfleet International costume group, because technically half of the people were in Klingon that were in Starfleet too. So,
Correct.
um, let's see. The Klingons, as I
There.
said, half of the people in this group were in Starfleet International as well. But
Uh-huh.
the little girl in the front was part of the Klingons and Friends of Klingons, and the gentleman that you can't see his face because my head is in his way was the other one, and he's in CAG as well. But we did a couple different pictures so you can actually see the whole group. One of the SFI people actually put on the Gorn face mask. What you don't see in this picture is our Dabo girl, Julie, but I do have a
Yeah.
picture of her. And the joke was I wanted to do something different after I made my actual TOS material T-shirt. But Drew said, "Why don't you do your Florida Man Klingon?" So I have the bamboo batleth, the oversized Klingon drinking cup on my side. I believe it's a dock runner, fishing pole hanging down. I was wearing rainbow Crocs. I had a empty pack of
Yeah.
cigarettes in my pocket. I had
Hey,
uh,
Florida man.
I had a mint pack in my back pocket to simulate skull, and so I truly was going for Klingon that saw Florida Manning, and having fun.
Absolutely.
And it was a lot of fun to interact with people, and it was a little bit different. Hello, James.
Hello,
Hello,
James.
good evening.
Welcome
You
back,
were
brother.
there, right? Yeah, you were there. I
Yep,
know you
sure was.
were. James is from the Victorious, and like I said, this year the Victorious and
Correction. Actually, I'm with the Andromeda.
oh, you're with the
Ah,
Andromeda. I'm sorry. I apologize.
It's all good. It's all
It,
good.
it is hard to go, okay, this one and that one. Last year we had one member of the Victorious, which was Mark Anderson.
Anderson.
And
Good
this year
people.
we had two more, and they actually brought the tent for the Dabo table. So that was an increase. It seems like with the Andromeda, we have a rotating cast of members, just like the Haven. Every year we have people that come in and help out, but it's never the same exact people each year. And this year, Andromeda and Victorious added a lot of people to their mix. James was also at BartoCon. Um, so we, we've been building up with the Starfleet International group a larger crew. And like I said, we got up to about 40 people this year total, which we're actually encroaching on the number of people that the 501st for the South Florida brings. They bring about 70 to 75 normally. And this year they
Wow.
were a little bit light because of the rain. And we had almost 40 between our four, and what a lot of people don't know was the Exeter was also there. Lawrence, the Grand Master of Ceremonies, is actually in the Exeter from Jacksonville. And there was three other Exeter members that I know I saw throughout the day. So Starfleet International had 5 ships or 5 chapters there. CAG had 3, or was it 4? Mark,
I think they had 4. I remember right. They were all
because
over.
I know that Carrie's on our ship.
Yeah,
So we figured that out that day because we thought Carrie was on a different ship, but no, she's on the Cursed.
yeah.
But this group, everybody here took time to go take a picture, but nobody in this group didn't man the booth, didn't talk to people throughout the day, and actually help break down and set up. Which, like I said, last year when I was still
Mhm.
setting up the transporter at 11:30 after the show had been going on for half an hour, yeah, I was tired, and we didn't get home till 10 something at night. This year, I was at my house by 9 o'clock
Yeah.
after
Don't
dropping
feel
off stuff.
bad. Don't feel
So
bad. I basically we went straight. They went straight back to my place and dropped me off.
how long were
You
you
heard me?
waiting
What was that?
for? How long were you waiting after I left?
Um, I was helping get the stuff out of the rain and make sure that John was out of the rain, and I was helping Trudy break her booth down
Well,
and
we
get
had
her stuff. So I was everywhere.
no. I'm saying after I had left, y'all were waiting for your ride. How long after I left?
Well, it wasn't a matter of waiting, it was a matter of getting Trudy's stuff broken down and get her over to where John and getting back over to where I had him parked with the rest of the gear.
Oh, you left him there. Okay.
Yeah, well, he couldn't really do a whole lot.
I was hoping that y'all weren't there too long because I hadn't eaten in about 24 hours and I started getting dizzy, so I had to go find food.
Yeah. I went with Carrie. We went to the Cuban place. It was awesome
Oh, cool.
for lunch. So
the guy
we
that I
support
was
local business.
the guy that I was blocking in the picture is actually right beside, I believe that is his daughter in the
Yeah.
picture. And he was
It was just
awesome.
good to see everybody working together. It was wonderful.
Now, this, like I said, the total group of everybody that could get away from the booth. Now, I'm gonna say there was probably 7 or 8 people still at the booth and others that were throughout the con that were part of our group.
I was kind of
This-
in and out, and John was mostly at the booth there because of his issues, he couldn't really, go around. I'll be glad when he gets some of these issues sorted out, but he's still, believe it or not, on a waiting list for specialists. That's
yeah.
insane.
Um,
Anyway,
as you see,
yeah,
we set up the booth a little bit differently this year.
yeah, it's great.
We wanted to be able to bring people under the shelter, and me and Drew have been planning this for the last 3 years, going, we got to get these tables out from in front. Now, it worked out really well because the drizzling every once in a while, everybody could get under shelter. Whenever we'd have somebody, we'd actually bring them into the booth, talk to them. If you look on the right side of the booth, there was displays made by Jefferson. In the corner in the back was the Cetacean group, which I believe is Andromeda's group. We had our displays that we've 3D printed all throughout the back as well. The flag belongs to the Haven. You can actually see, I didn't think about taking the picture of the Friends of Klingon booth, but you can actually see their booth in the corner here. Because I was so tired and got like an hour of sleep, I didn't take the pictures that I wanted to take. I was originally going to broadcast, and I couldn't even hold up my arm enough to keep a camera to go do a full tour.
So you did a terrific job. Don't you worry, sir. You did awesome.
My mind is not working for names, but this gentleman here, we became friends at BartoCon, and his son passed away and had the same birthday as me.
Oh man.
He had never taken a selfie or anything like that. He's one of the show volunteers, and
Wow.
he worked the car meet part of it mainly. And one of the things his son liked to do was take pictures. So in honor of his son, he actually now goes around and takes selfies with everybody. Starting on my birthday, October 14th last year, which was BartoCon. So he specifically,
This gentleman here, we became friends. He had never taken a selfie or anything.
Oh, James was lagging.
James is having.
Our group got worded by Lawrence because of everything we'd been doing over. I found out it wasn't 4 years and it wasn't 7 years like I thought with Lauren. This group has actually been going on from the beginning of BartoCon.
Wow.
The Haven and Norm started, and actually Sean asked asked Norm suggestions. So uh, the Haven has been there all 11 years. So we picked up from the Haven and basically became the people to coordinate everybody. But they were the ones that started cooperating with the Klingons and everybody else as a group, even before they became part of Starfleet. So the award, which is part of our displays now, was given to us because of everything that's been done. And what was funny was there was another group, a Star Trek group, a steampunk Star Trek group that they were awarding. And our friends from the con goes, y'all got to get to the stage. We get there and they go, it's the other one. I'm like, I looked at Lawrence. I said, I knew it wasn't us because we don't get awards. We help run the show.
Right.
But Lawrence handed it to us and goes, you know what? Y'all actually deserve it because I've seen what y'all did. So, like I said, he wasn't directly part of our group. He was actually the Grandmaster, and he was working with the Neutral Zone Studios booth. Maria here, she is one of the main people at Bartow. She works with everybody, but she comes in different costumes. Last year, she does Uhura. She does I can't think of the name of the group, but the culture, the Black Panther group. She has the warrior
Right.
costume.
Yes.
One of the things she always does is she likes to get a picture with everybody. This year, she didn't take the picture. I took the picture.
She's a
So I
terrific
went around and took pictures with certain people. Got to get a Darth Vader picture of some sort. Last year, my
Right.
picture was I took it with Leo and Darth Vader on our transporter. We didn't take the transporter because, well, it was storming and when we didn't have a place to put everything. So next year, if it's clear, we're gonna have the transporter out. We're gonna have the bar and the Dabo table separate. So we
Mhm.
will actually fill up that space, which will put us at close to a city block of displays. Which we're not both sides of the thing like the 501st is, but we're not doing too bad with making displays.
No, I think we've done great. Um,
Again,
if
Lauren,
if you ever need the chair, it's available.
the problem is moving that 500-pound thing.
Yeah, I've actually
Uh,
got a better dolly I put together for it,
yeah, but
and I've
Lauren and
also
Drew,
got ball bearing feet on it too.
that will make difference. Drew
Yeah,
did not change into his Klingon like he planned on,
no, he was
but
doing
he
way
was
too
called
much.
over to be part of the Neutral Zone Studios panel. And what I find hilarious was he's in his TOS thing. Lawrence comes over and goes, I need you. And he goes. He gets up there and goes, why am I in Federation clothing? I should be in my Klingon. Because
No
every
problem.
fan film he does his Klingon.
If that was the neutral zone panel that they had on stage there, your ambassador was part of it.
Right.
I did a lot of Q&A about what goes on there and everything else. I had a lot of people interested.
So, like I said, Drew stayed pretty much in the Federation costume this year, unlike last year where we switched off and on.
Right.
I stayed in my my Florida Man Klingon costume the whole time, and in the booth you can see my Federation costume hanging up as a part of the display. My picture with Lauren, looking down the street at basically last year we had more booths on this side. They moved them to another part of the con. So I had to walk basically where we were originally when I started 4 years ago. They were in front of the ice cream shop or the candy shop, and that's where they were this year. Which is a premium spot. So I thought it was pretty cool. And this was where our bar and Dabo table was, and our Dabo girl.
Right. And
then
you had Lakeland show up.
Customers with a Cause.
Yes.
And her group does mass group cosplays, and they go to hospitals for kids. They do charity work. They are basically out there raising money for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
For some reason, I don't know
If you
who
get
this
a chance,
is. Yeah.
if you get a chance to get with Drew, he can probably tell you what we raised for the sheriff's charities. I basically handed the jar off to him.
Did he not tell you?
No. Do you have a figure?
No, and let me see if
It was quite a bit of money. That's okay. We'll find out.
Hold on.
Oh, by the way, I threw together some. I got a bowl and some gummy worms. So basically, we had faux gras.
Yeah.
At the bar.
They had faux gras at the bar. We had water, but I don't think anybody realized it was in the cooler to give away. So I had a cooler full of water left over. As you see, the costumes we had hanging in the back. Drew's Klingon costume, my Starfleet costume. And like I said, our main thing was getting people out of the wet weather. And whenever people came by, we would bring them into the booth, and it was $52 was raised for the sheriff's charities, which goes to the sheriff's youth ranch, or is it house? I can't remember what the actual label is that it funds, but it is I believe it's for the primary thing is for kids that don't have homes, but they also help out with kids that have issues that they don't want to put them in a jail or a detention center. They want to get them rehabbed. They want to get them off drugs, stuff like that. This was after they've done a rehab. They will take them to this basically housing area and help them get back into society. So Grady has been doing this past weekend. He did jeeping with Judd, and the jeepers pay to go and basically go on an obstacle course all weekend, and there'll be 2,000 or 3,000 jeeps doing this. And that's one of the main ways that he raises money to fund the sheriff's program. And this is our friends from Men in Black. They weren't completely set up when I took the picture, but they are definitely part of our group. Oh, who's this ugly guy?
Which
This
one?
is the one that's got something in his mouth.
Oh, yes. I was enjoying some of the faux gras.
Took the picture right at the right time. But
Yeah. Had to keep my energy up, you know.
I got the star photo op we put behind the weapons display. This year we didn't have as many weapons on that wall. They ended up on Jordan's display on the right.
Yeah, he was really tight for space.
Yeah,
I think he's going to plan on getting a trailer hitch on that Toyota,
yeah.
and he's going to probably rent a trailer. You know, he can pull a light trailer.
But as you see, we got a spaceship backing, and
Yeah,
behind the bar, we also had a spaceship backing. It kind of looked like
yeah,
we were on Klingon ships on the bar, and also this,
absolutely.
as far as the sizing goes. So, and Julia, our Dabo girl, the Dabo table isn't 100% done, but it worked. Unfortunately, because of the rain, we couldn't move Moogie's bar into its own area, so it kind of was stacked up, and but it worked out. Nobody got soaked. So
And
that
that
was
was
all of the pictures that I pulled of our booth from not only um, my pictures, but Kat's pictures and a couple other people. Lauren for the group picture, and we basically worked on showing a little bit of everything. But I posted in our group chat the link to the CQ article I wrote about the history of the con. And one thing that is interesting is at one time Mark was a plank holder of the Haven, if I'm not mistaken. Which means Mark would have went to the first BartoCon or Syfy Barto. So
yeah, yeah.
basically, Mark has been with Syfy Barto for the 11 years. Now, next year, the theme is villains. Dun, dun, dun. So we've got to figure out how we're going to work in villains to Klingons.
Not a problem. I can wear the black armor.
So we were talking about doing the alternate universe.
Yeah, that could be interesting.
So you have some ideas. Next year is going to be awesome. I don't have the picture, but you can look up Syfy Barto online, and there's pictures of everything that went on. There's videos of everything that went on YouTube. If you look up Syfy Barto, they're linked. The vehicles and everything that was there was amazing. We have Pikachu, which is the world's largest Pikachu collection.
Miss Bell, yes, indeed.
And I have to go up and talk to her every time. If you see my pictures from BartoCon, you'll actually notice that the Pikachu, which is her husband, walking around, I handed my axe to and said, "You're now a Klingon," and took the picture. I also did the same thing to Danny's Dalek, which he didn't bring the same Dalek because of the rain. He brought the one that he could stuff in his car. So we talked about how to alter his trailer so that it could have a waterproofing because he does have limited pulling capacity. So we talked about that. Talked about inclusion and diversity, which Star Trek is all about. And while the world doesn't necessarily follow that, Gene wanted inclusion and diversity in the future. That's why his cast in 1966 was so diverse. If you look at it, nobody was from the same region of Europe. Nobody was from the same place, same dialect. And Gene even knew back then that George Takei was uh, a gay man. So he did things back then to change cultural norms that nobody was doing.
Yep.
I have people argue, oh, that wasn't the first kiss, same sex kiss when Aurora kissed the nurse on the cheek. But in 1960s, that would have been scandalous. A black woman and a white woman to kiss on TV, or two women to kiss, period. Even kissing a
Mhm.
cheek, it would have been scandalous. We're talking about a time that there was still segregated water fountains in bathrooms.
Yep.
A time when people were still being told you have to sit in the back of the bus, you know? And
And Val got changed to a seamstress by the name of Rosa Parks.
yep. And
That had a hard day at work and said, "Nope, I'm not moving."
I know it's not Black History Month now. We're one day out, but what a lot of people don't know was Nichelle Nichols was about to quit. She actually was about to turn in her resignation from Star Trek. And she went and talked to Martin Luther King Jr. And he said, "You don't understand the impact of your character on society." And from that, she started working with NASA and bringing other people of different backgrounds into NASA. Now, a lot of people, until the was it Hidden Figures, I believe the movie was called, about the computers or calculators, computers. A lot of people didn't know uh, that, and uh, Richard's gonna come on in about 5 minutes. He's had another meeting beforehand, but we're gonna talk to him because we haven't talked to him in a while about his cons and what's been going on, because he has been a little bit under the weather too. But not a lot of people knew that a group of women, and specifically black women, that they were behind the scenes making sure the Apollo astronauts made it to the moon. So in society at the time, they thought of black men and women as less than. But these were women that were the top engineers ever. And I started watching a show which I got through the whole series uh, of I got Apple TV with my phone plan, and
Mhm.
I'm not an Apple fan as far as the equipment goes, because to me it's rebranded Samsung stuff. So I'm like, meh, okay. Back in the day, it was the top of the line. Uh, hold on. Resend to
You
James for some.
you, uh, you know about Deep Space Nine, right, John? Are you still there? You appear to be frozen. They had an episode called Far Beyond the Stars, and they addressed the issues that we were talking about. Did it quite eloquently, too. Yeah, I think Paul is trying to get back in. Anyway, Barta was quite a turnout. It wasn't bad, in spite of the sprinkles at the start and the raining at the tail end. Everybody seemed to have a good time, and we raised a bunch of money for a good cause.
Well, that was fun. My internet went.
Yeah, you were frozen there. You were talking about the series that you were able to go through. Do you remember one episode of Deep Space Nine that addressed what we've been talking about?
I'm not sure. I can't remember.
It was called Far Beyond the Stars.
Okay.
It addressed the issue of racism, and it was the 50s.
Oh, really?
And Cisco's character, well, Avery Brooks' character, he played a writer doing a story about a space station. He was writing Pulp Fiction.
Oh, that's
This was during the Golden Age. And all the characters that you would remember from the show, they had different roles.
Yeah.
And they weren't in makeup. And it was quite enlightening and eye-opening.
True. So
it was one of the most watched episodes ever.
It was right before the final episode. And so the For All Mankind was basically Russia beat us to the moon. Like their big rocket didn't blow up, killing all their scientists, and they beat us to the moon completely.
Yeah. And ironically, they are coexisting with us on the International Space Station.
Yeah. It's the only place that tensions aren't high. But so this flips the script, and in the show, I'm not going to spoil the whole thing. They beat us to the moon, and they had the first woman in space on the moon. So
they also sent 2 dogs into orbit. Unfortunately, it was a one-way trip.
Yeah, they unalived a couple dogs in orbit.
Yeah, the first one was Laika.
Right. They addressed that in the show, as a matter of fact. But one of the characters that becomes a female astronaut was actually one of the computers. So it was the 4 seasons I really enjoyed. They're supposed to be working on a 5th season. And like I said, I'm not going to spoil the thing. If you can, check it out. It is definitely worth. Come on. Maybe he's coming in. It's definitely worth a watch. Is it working now?
I'm in. I apologize. I got a call from one of Starfleet's Marine finest.
Oh, as a matter of fact, one of them is.
I'm sorry?
One of those Marines is going to be coming in a couple minutes. Richard.
Okay.
I spoke a second too soon.
And there he is.
Speaking of the Marine,
Oh, okay.
so
Are we all?
pretty good. We've had a couple of technical difficulties because Comcraft or Xfinity is shit. Sorry, but
Fine.
Drew had a couple of technical difficulties which we've got to figure out. For some reason, all of a sudden he can't hear anything from his end. So I'll have to figure that out later. We talked about Syfy Barto pretty much. We talked about a Apple TV show called For All Mankind, which is a reimagining of the space program with Russia beating us to the moon. It started out back then, and the last season was based in about 2001-ish, but I'm not going to give details of it because I don't want to spoil it completely. All I got to say is it's definitely worth a watch if you enjoyed the space program and kind of disappointed in why the space program hasn't progressed as far as it should. Kind of like we technically should be on Mars already by a long shot.
Well, possibly. I mean, it's hard to say how that would have panned out overall.
Yeah, but it's interesting, and it does have in the show it talks about basically capitalism and the pros and cons of that too through exploration, let's just say. But let's see. We haven't talked to you forever.
It's true. It's true. A variety of things have it didn't help that I was sick basically the month of January.
Yeah.
Ew.
Like it was just not trying to work one of the shows when I was sick would not have worked. It was just there was far too much coughing.
Yeah, then Uber Eats or whatever you used didn't work out the one time.
Yeah, you know.
But did you do anything December? Because we hadn't talked to you since I think December 1st.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like most volunteer groups, obviously December is a bit of a thing. I mean, I read a book. That was my big thing. Is I read a book by an author that I happen to know personally. So that's it's called Trouble War Red, and it is it is set in like near future or possibly a little, it's set on a space station. We've colonized Mars. But that's a lot of just like that set, right? The story is very much like a crime, sort of a crime thriller, sort of with noir elements, and the main character is a detective named Rocky, and he is a detective, and he is an ex-special forces guy as one of his or one of his employees, and then sort of secretary / sort of investigator, a young woman kind of thing, and he's working for his old plane. So it's a very sort of like, and I kind of asked the author, like, did you write this like with my mindset in like did you take a look at me and go, I wonder if I can make this, but then make him a detective? Like, I identify with this character. I'm the same age as this character, even. I slipped really easily into these shoes, and I think anybody sort of in their 40s, especially male, will slip into this character really well. And you can get it on Amazon. I think you can get print on Amazon, and I think you can get and I think they have it as an ebook version too. Like I said, it is somewhat colored because of the fact that I do know the author, so our temperaments align fairly well. So, and the author's name is Chris Lewis. So, and it's a really good book. I recommend it. It's 200 pages. It's sort of on that edge of novella and novel. If you have anything, if you like detective fiction or sort of noir detective, even if you like Who Framed Roger Rabbit, I think you'll enjoy it. So like, I think it caters to a lot wider audience than maybe it's sort of like noir-esque thing. And its classification as science fiction, of course, is kind of technical because of the fact that there is science fiction elements because of the technology involved, but it is not a really technological story driven, and it has cyberpunk elements as well, which I guess you probably would be able to figure out. But yes, so they're it's a crime caper. It's got corrupt politicians. A beautiful X-Flame with like elements of femme fatale. I think most people would really enjoy it. And it lays in that nice realm, as far as me as a reader, of there is enough detail, but not too much detail, so that you can sort of like grasp a character and sort of like paint the facades on how you wish. Well, obviously for me, these characters have very specific looks, and they have result in stuff that is familiar to me, right? Rather than stuff familiar with other people. But I really think it's an easy book to pick up. I read it in, I think, 4 hours total. Might have been 5. But like I said, it's about 200 pages. It's a little harder to judge. I wrote it electronically. I did not read a physical copy. I will buy the physical copy from my author friend at Calgary Expo, which is coming up here in April, which the USS Chinook will be attending in full force. So look forward to that. I might as well just segue into that. So
Hold on. Before you segue into that, somebody got a promotion.
I did get a promotion.
A well-deserved promotion.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Richard.
I don't get to show too many promotions of leaders that truthfully deserve it. But as you see the picture, let me stop sharing so that we can show his that way.
I knew it was eventually coming, so I had these hooks done earlier.
That's awesome.
You had those specially made?
I do. There's a company here that made for the USS Chinook. However, they're done in marine style. So I have reached out to leadership and said, they're made. They look like this. If y'all want, we can set it up so it can be ordered. Like, they were willing to put a page up so that we could order them independently, but I've not ever gotten a response back.
Awesome.
To it.
James,
definitely can do it and throw them in some envelopes. And
I need I need those in gold, 3 gold ones.
the other thing, James, the
Yes.
company that made the two vinyl patches during Steve's run. That company happened to be in Winter Haven, Florida.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Drew knows it. If you contact Drew, he's got their information.
All
So
right.
if you have a
If
vector
you don't
picture,
mind, send me a link.
I don't have a link. You have to talk to Drew,
Okay, I'll talk to Drew.
and he can get you a copy of their card to contact them.
Awesome.
Like I said, they are a local business, and they have done work for us internationally. I think Richard even has that patch somewhere.
Yes, I do. I have those patches.
I
technically have like one double for reasons that I don't remember why. I think I have the ship one twice.
and
I'm not sure why that happened.
We're not going to talk about the quartermaster at the time.
I love the current quartermaster.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to say. Current quartermaster is really good.
Right. But I definitely wanted to do that, to point out that. Now, if you look on TikTok, there is a account. I believe the account's name is Humanities 2. I have to make sure.
Oh, okay. Jane's website. Jane Moore?
No, a Humanities 101.org. And the gentleman is a professor, and found out that he had autism when he took his son to get diagnosed with autism. And basically, he teaches humanities in college, and he started an organization to start help training and getting getting funding for places that are working to make more inclusive for autistic people. This morning I was on a live with him, and as I'm talking to him, I'm realizing that a lot of the stuff that I had in my past that popped up actually would have qualified me for not a disability version, but it would put me on the spectrum. So stuff like my ability to look at problems with cars and computers and video equipment and stuff like that, and not touch them and tell you exactly what's wrong with them. And there's other things that made sense as I'm talking with him. But he is doing lives once or twice a week. He's also going to be putting up links to his humanities classes that he's going to be teaching, where people can actually go on and get involved in the class, where you can watch the classes and learn for free. So I do try and focus on finding what I call heroes around. And I thought that's an organization that needs to be highlighted. He actually started the organization, and 2 days ago he got his first government grant. So he actually is trying to bring knowledge to people that don't understand. And if you think about it, in society, those that have brought about social changes, engineering changes, all of them would have been autistic.
Yeah.
Einstein definitely would have been autistic, you know. I can't remember all of it because I kind of didn't fully sleep today. I slept, but I didn't sleep. But he had a list of people, and one of the people that he was talking about would, whenever he would speak, he was nonverbal till he was like 5 or 6 years old. But whenever he would speak, he would and then repeat himself louder. And the next sentence, he would speak really quiet and then repeat it. And it's one of those weird things that people look at and go, "Why are you doing that?" But it's part of that way the brain works. That it's not a normal function, but because of that, that person was credited with a lot of creations. So um, definitely check his TikTok out. Like I said, it is humanities 101 org, and it is the Humanities 101 Foundation. And I've seen this guy talk about politics, all this stuff, and people think that he's angry and becoming aggressive, and it's not. It's his autism is so there that he's trying to hold himself back and not act that way. And if you don't see him on the regular basis, you would think that he's angry at the person or he's being aggressive. But when you realize that's just him, and you stand back and you look at it and go, huh, he's right on a lot of stuff. So on this particular account, he doesn't talk about politics at all. He only talks about autism and humanities. So it is definitely worth checking out the account and looking up the foundation itself. So another thing, we were at Bartow, the Bartow Community Church Community Center. And when I say Church Community Center, that's the name of it. And it's not assigned to any specific church. When they established the group, it was set up to be the community center for all of Bartow for homeless and getting food out there. And when they set it up, they didn't want to go, okay, we don't want to have people have to go to 40 different churches in the city. They talked to all the churches and they talked to the government and Publix and a bunch of different companies and said, hey, how about we start this group here? We'll start a thrift shop and stuff like that. And we can make one centralized place where all this is available and everybody can contribute. So one of the things we did last year, we raised $1,000 for that. They were set up right across from our booth last week. Or not last week, 2 weeks ago at Syfy Bartow. And James, if you remember, the orange golf cart is actually part of that was the community center's golf cart.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Saw it parked right beside their booth. That was actually the community center. So great people. They treat everybody great. Lori, the showrunner, actually now works at the thrift store. So she every once in a while you'll see me link a ad for the community center. Everything that's sold there goes to feeding and clothing homeless and basically people that need it. I believe that they serve hot food out of it at least twice a week, and they give out cold food throughout the week through the thrift store as well. I actually got to take a tour of it, and they have a professional's kitchen, but you don't see it when you walk in the thrift store. you actually have to go through their pantry, which when I walked through, there was a space just big enough for me to go between all the cases of food because Publix had just delivered like 7 pallets of food. So if you're in Bartow area, look up the Bartow Church Community Center and check out their thrift shop. I believe that I bought a pair of pants when I was there last, but they have all different types of stuff. So it definitely supports a good cause. So this month on, I believe it's the 16th, the Russell Camp's going to be at Polytech Con, which is a closed college con for the people that go to the college. And we were actually asked to bring displays that displayed technology from Star Trek that influence technology of today. So on the 16th, we'll be doing that. I believe August 6th is Prehistoric Con, another outdoor con. This one's going to be in Mulberry. We're not going to have a booth there, but we're going to go and help them out, be volunteers, and plan on steampunking up our cosplay. I'm going to do my Klingon in a more steampunk setup. I have my little steampunk goggles to go along with my costume for that particular day. I bought them so that this year I would actually have something steampunky. I've got some little buttons I can add to my costume to make it look more mechanical as well that I got at Bartow, Syfy Bartow. BartowCon. I believe that we'll be going to help the Victorious out with a con April 26th. I haven't got details on that one. I think it's called Con. I'm not sure exactly, but those are the ones that we're doing. I know, Richard, what was the date you said that your next con was?
Oh, you have to ask me a hard question, don't you?
You said April something. I just can't remember what it was.
I think it's the 25th, the 26th, the 27th, and the 28th.
Okay, so basically,
it's Sunday.
So if you're in Calgary, right?
Yeah, that's Calgary Entertainment Comic Expo. My ship will be there. We'll be that. Hoping we'll be in the Parade of Wonders, which is the Friday parade they have shortly before, sort of during the morning of the first full day. So look to be doing that. And then we were looking at doing Saskatoon Con, which is the following weekend. But that we haven't gotten stuff back, and the person who was going to do the driving doesn't have that time off.
Yeah, back-to-back cons are hard.
Yeah, I don't know. Back-to-back cons, especially back-to-back cons where there's a 6-hour drive in between.
And so one of the questions that Dutch asked me was, after you do a major social event, you have to recharge.
Yeah, I normally take the Monday off.
Yeah. And I said, yeah, I need about 30 hours to myself to just sleep and not be around people. He goes, and that's one of the things where we are able to interact with people, but once we've interacted to a certain point, our minds go away now. And I never thought about that, because when I teach survival skills, when I was teaching that, I would need a day off after that weekend where I didn't talk to anybody, because at the time I was working in a drug rehab for teenage boys. I needed that time to go, okay, let me recharge my batteries. I needed a day between, and then I could go back and work correctly. But like I said, there are some stuff that if you talk to them and listen to it, you'll realize that, hey, that weird uncle or that my grandfather acted strangely, and you'll go, huh, I wonder, is that what it actually was? And it was an interesting conversation today. I was going to come home and go to bed, and I ended up getting home about 8 o'clock in the morning, and I was on his live till 10:30 talking to him. So, like I said, check it out with that. I don't think you have a con right now, Mark, right?
Yeah, nothing really big right now. You've got the Mulberry thing coming up, and like you said, and the where you're volunteering, and one other event, I think.
Yeah. So we'll be having a couple more shows, and we'll talk about the future cons.
Right.
Anything going on with the brigade in Florida or in your area, James? Because it's interesting. I've got 2 different OICs sitting here.
It's true.
So James is going to get with Drew. Like I said, basically, Jose, I believe it is, and take any vector damage and create it in multiple different stuff. He's got vinyl. He's got the embroidered. We are still working on the what is that type of jacket called? The
Eisenhower jackets.
the Ike jackets.
Yeah. Sorry.
One of the suppliers fell through, and they're still trying to find the right one and make it affordable so that we can actually make the Ike jacket, put the logos on it and everything. So it will be set up so that anybody in our region Drew plans on getting those logos set. And with any creation, you have to pay for vectoring and getting it into the system. But it will be something nice to have a standard jacket for like our division, is it called? Or is it district? Division, I believe, of Florida, where all of a sudden we're going in our Marine costumes for once, which I don't have a Marine outfit.
First Division.
First Division.
Florida. I'm sorry?
I don't have a Marine set up yet. That one costs a lot.
Unfortunately, they do.
Obviously,
But,
I do.
Yeah.
I won't say it didn't cost a lot, though. They have.
Well, the only one that didn't cost a mint was the salt and pepper. That was affordable to put together.
Because it's basically a white button-up shirt and a pair of black pants, right?
Right, with a red stripe on the side of the pants.
Yeah.
It's still $90 to $110.
Oh, well, okay. Richard,
We got to introduce you
question.
to American.
What brigade are you
I'm
with?
wearing is $50, so
Let me put him in the big box for you.
Got a question, Richard, if it's okay.
sure, shoot.
What brigade are you with? I forget.
10th.
Oh, okay, 10th. Okay, thank you. I forgot.
In fact, I was late because I was having a meeting with the RP. So
Yeah.
Okay. I'm trying to set
we were
that up
having it in
with
person
my
today.
units, but no one's getting back to me.
That's okay. I sent my units an email Monday, and I haven't heard from any of them yet.
I might still be listed in 1st Brigade as a reservist.
It's possible.
Because when we
If you
switched,
transferred regions, though, it should switch you over to the next brigade.
yeah, you would think.
It should. The only experience I have where that didn't work was the person when we had that ship that's now in our region that was mother shipped in 13.
Yeah. Well, we were in Region 1 because of stuff that we'll not talk about right now.
Yep, exactly.
But, when we switched back, about a year later, after we were launched officially, or full chapter, I think it's Donna. I can't remember. Whoever is the OIC in
Donna sounds right.
Region 1. Is it
Yeah,
Donna?
that sounds right.
Okay, Donna sent me a message. Hey, you're in my brigade. I went, really? I haven't been in Region 1 in over a year. She goes, I'll check with that. Because for some reason it didn't switch.
Tiffany's now in my region.
Yeah.
So
and we need to when we went full chapter, we were trying to get somebody that was the temporary captain to set up the Marine thing, because our ship is a engineering ship that is customized and carries fighters, and our fighters are Marine breed. So that didn't work out.
That sounds like our Marine group, which is search and rescue.
Yeah. So, but, eventually we will set up the official setup, but hopefully we can get a couple more people, because I don't want to run everything.
A thing we were talking about in my in fact, part of the reason I was talking to my RC was just sort of like some reorganization in that regard, because right now I'm also the OIC of my unit on the ship, and I don't like reporting to myself. I have a very big sort of conflict of interest kind of vibe with that. I'm like, I don't really want to report to myself.
Do you ask yourself questions and answer them out loud?
Sometimes, but doesn't everybody?
That's what I have to do. I report to myself when I do my unit reports.
That's funny. Here, let me pull this up real quick.
I also doing that thing of I have a leadership torch, and that is now retired.
So you think that will look steampunk enough?
Yeah, probably.
Yep, you can get away with it.
Yeah. I mean, if you could find some like gears you can temporarily attach, it'd probably be better if you had cogs. But
yeah, but I got like 5 of these from the people that brought the Stargate to the con.
Oh, okay, that's fair.
Had these, and I bought 5 of them, and I'm like, I could use those. Just
yeah.
There you go.
There's a gentleman in my general area, because he always comes to the Calgary Con. I think I've seen him at Edmonton, and he has a full on steampunk captain's uniform.
holy cow!
It is very it is Victorian gentleman with red command accents, and it is beautiful. I will endeavor to make sure to get a picture this year. I could probably maybe port through some stuff and find one, but I couldn't do it quickly. But this year I must get a picture of him, because he's got the whole theme. Just bang on. And very Star Trek.
So
All right.
the guy that made my little dragon,
Yeah.
and he also the plates that are up here, the TOS plates, his grandma gave those to me.
Yeah.
He brought me this statue.
Is it a face palm Picard?
Yep.
Well, I mean, fitting. I mean, totally fitting.
I'm
I'm
sorry.
just gonna say there is somebody above you two in our organization that makes me do this on a daily basis.
I don't know. It's probably best I don't try to comment on who I think that is. So. Anyway.
But the other thing was, the cool thing was because of everything that we've done in the past few years and the history of the Haven with Syfy Barto, we got a one-time free advertisement in the poster that was valued at over $1,500.
Oh wow, that's cool.
And so it was pretty awesome. Had a lot of fun and all. So we are actually at pretty much the end of the show. I didn't talk about. I think I talked about it. Nope, we didn't talk about gaming. I didn't have anything prepared. I will be having a gaming night tomorrow night with my friends. I think we're going to be playing Mario Kart. Just my one friend is.
Are you good friends? And have you done any starter games like playing Monopoly or Uno first? Like, have you gauged the tolerance of oh wait, my friend just screwed me over. Oh, I feel like killing him. Like, have you gauged those tolerances? Because you should gauge your tolerances before playing Mario Kart.
We played multiple campaigns of D&D. We played Blockbuster Party. We played the one D&D game, the board game that was, I can't remember the name of it, but it was basically you are a server in a tavern. We played
Red Dragon Inn? Or Last Red Dragon Inn or something?
Something like that.
I vaguely know.
We played Mandalorian's Monopoly.
Okay, well at least that's a Monopoly. Like I mean, you need something a little cutthroat to like test the waters. So like, I mean, other acceptable answers would probably be diplomacy, access and allies, and risk.
Yeah, we've done a bunch of different stuff.
If you've done that, then you'll probably be fine. But I mean, like Mario Party is the video game equivalent of like Monopoly or Uno in testing one's friendships between people.
Right. So we have done that, and he goes, "Hey, I got the new Mario Party," and we were like, "I was like, works for me. I don't have to plan anything." So
yeah, I'm like, good. I don't have to plan anything.
But we do have a selection of board games and all that we've collected over the last year or so. So it's just everybody's in town. Let's do a board game night. So it should be. But with that, Mark disappeared. Live long and prosper. And have a great week. We'll talk to you in a couple weeks.